and freaking get over here to the chair. You can see my wife in the background in the kitchen.
Tired.
Anyway. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, let me get this all settled first. Of course, everything falls. Barely touched the thing. I'll get this settled, then we'll talk about everything. All the fucking toy news. There are no Marvel Legends figures out. I'll explain why in a minute. Because I just watched the freaking Marvel Legends. I guess it was their reveal. The two videos, yeah. Really disappointing. Really disappointing. Dropping the knife. Out of his hand, I swear, it's freaking knife. Really big pistol. And if you're wondering why Chucky is here, not because NECA revealed a new Chucky thing. NECA didn't reveal nothing too much. What they reported on was the end of the line there. So anyway, let's get into the San Diego Comic-Con toy news stuff before I start. I want to talk about some things that I didn't hit on the video. I had hinted at I was hoping to see a show news like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man get canceled, and then have freaking Spider-Man, the original 90s cartoon, be, relaunched. That's what happened. So let's get into the toy news because there's a lot to cover. And I'm going to start with the freaking WWE wrestling figures because, golly, there was so much freaking wrestling figure news for the first 2 days of Comic-Con. So what they revealed on night one, I'm only going to touch on a few things. So I believe they revealed the new Ultimate Moments figures. Yeah, I'm here. They revealed their new Ultimate Moments figures, which look pretty cool. They're Defining Moments figures in Ultimate Edition, so that's awesome. They revealed the next Monday Night War lines. They revealed the next Monday Night War Ultimates, which, hallelujah, finally, I've been hollering for a freaking 2000 to 2001 book 2 for years and years and years, and we're finally going to get it. Because not only can I put this thing to rest on my wrestling figure shows, I can freaking finally do something I had planned for Wrestle Figure Mania, which that figure's coming out early next year, so we'll have to wait and see. But it is a Booker T Ultimate, finally, hallelujah. Well, we finally got it. The next Monday Night War line is pretty interesting because they are going to have Sensational Sherry, the Harlem Heat gear. They're going to have Terry Funk with the WCW Hardcore title. The WCW Hardcore title looks so much like the ECW title. And they're actually using the actual model they used in the dying days of WCW, which really shocked me. But that's what the Terry Funk's coming with. The Kurt Angle. It's kind of a repaint of the friggin' Ultimate Edition that came with the European and Intercontinental Championship. So that's what that's going to be. Then they revealed, I believe, what's the next line after that, which is going to have the Nasty Boys in it. We haven't seen Nasty Boy figures from Mattel for a bit. So that's pretty cool that we're finally getting Nasty Boy figures from Mattel. We haven't seen them in a while. They're going to be in the next Monday Night War line. Trying to think of who the other two were in that line. One of them wasn't Hulk Hogan, that's sure. We're also getting a freaking Dr. Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he attacked Vince McMahon in the hospital when his freaking leg got crushed by the Undertaker and Kane, which that's just awesome. We're getting that. I believe they also showed off another Stone Cold. Looks like it's going to be SummerSlam 98 Stone Cold, so that might be a part of next year's SummerSlam wave. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Only thing is with that, they had the 2 knee braces on it, and I'm like, well, when he wrestled Undertaker at SummerSlam 98, he only had 1 knee brace. And I wonder if we're going to get Undertaker with that as well. And we'll see. But then they also revealed the next set of the Saturday Night Main Event line, which I believe is, I think it's like Series 3. So that's pretty good. We also are finally going to get the return of the Defining Moments Triple H from that original Defining Moments. It's going to be Defining Moments. This time it's going to be the jeans. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to take the freaking head, take one of my ponytail heads from my Ultimate Edition Triple H, the one that came out a couple years ago. Take that and put that on that, and then take that head off and put it on this one. Or promo gear in there. I'm also going to get a Ultimate Edition Kane from the release of when he had to take his mask off when he lost in the World Heavyweight title match with against Triple H in the Reign of Terror of Triple H. Which led to him in a Rob Van Dam feud because Rob Van Dam said, I'm the one that preached for you to get the mask taken off and blah, 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 blah. All that gibberish. And, you know, that figure, it's good they're re-releasing it in alternate form because they re-released it a couple times in Elite. And it always ends up being hard to find. I think it was in a Legend wave, it was in a Decade of Dominance wave, and now we're getting an Ultimate of it. Hopefully that one will be easier to find than the last one. We also seen the X-Pac fully finished, the Ultimate Edition X-Pac fully finished with the new ball joints that they're going to put in the Ultimate Editions. We also got, what else did we get? We got Eddie Guerrero's coming next after Booker T, and then Chyna's coming after that, but there's got to be another figure in between Chyna and that, so we'll see. Yeah, we saw the next Legend wave after the one with Triple H and all that, which is going to be the Steiner Brothers and the Tongan Kid, and who was the other one in it? I don't know. But the Build-A-Figure is Mike Rotundo from the Varsity Club. Now, I do got an issue with the freaking Steiner Brothers Legends, and it's not that they're bad figures or anything, but Scott Steiner is coming with the freaking NWA tag belt. Rick Steiner, which I said if he was coming with the TV belt, it was going to be the blackstrap version of the TV belt, and that's what it is. It's the blackstrap version of the TV belt. So I kind of guessed that right, but if you want both NWA tag titles, you're going to have to buy 2 of those freaking Scott Steiners just to get the NWA tag team title. You don't have to buy 1 Rick Steiner to get the freaking TV title, but you're going to have to buy 2 of the Scott Steiners. So Scott Steiner is probably going to be the hardest one to find out of that, just because because people are going to double buy it just to get the NWA tag belts together. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. They also revealed all the AAA figures, and I gotta say, I don't care too much about this AAA, all these AAA figures coming out. I don't care about Mr. Iguana. I don't care about Americana, Grande, and all that. What I do care about, though, is we are getting Classic La Parka. We're getting Classic La Parka. We are getting Psychosis. And we're getting Conan, which, you know, I've been talking about that for a while. They needed to make a Conan because we have not had a Wolfpack Conan yet. But this is going to be Conan from his early run. I guess his early run in WCW. They also showed off Rey Mysterio in his early wrestling years. So, pretty interesting. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but golly, there's so much freaking news I can't just focus on one thing. And they did reveal their next Coliseum collection, which is going to be Earthquake and Typhoon, but you get Earthquake with some blue jeans and a t-shirt from his debut, and we're getting Typhoon's gear from when he was Tugboat, so that's pretty cool. I guess they're going to be tributes to the Hasbro figures that Mattel used to make. That Hasbro used to make, the Hasbro line, sorry about that. We're getting an Armageddon 3-pack between The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Undertaker for the undisputed WWE title. It's probably going to be the bigger version of the belt because in that match, Undertaker had the bigger version because The Rock was going to win. And I guess The Rock won the bigger version of the belt instead of this version of the belt. So it's going to be the bigger version of the WWE undisputed title. We also got a reveal of Hulk Hogan in one of the next Legends waves. He's going to come with what was going to be the original 86 belt. Not this one, but the one with his face in it. So we're going to see Hulk Hogan with the belt that had his face in the center of the plate that he rejected to use and went with this one instead. Which I think this one's nicer than that one. But that's going to be a nice thing to add to the collection. So it's going to be pretty interesting with what they do with that. And that's why I have the Ultimate Edition cane up here. But like I said, I wonder though with the 98 frickin' SummerSlam Stone Cold, I wonder if they're going to do Undertaker as well from that match. Because, and that might be a part of the next SummerSlam wave for next year. Is Stone Cold Undertaker from the frickin' Highway to Hell match at SummerSlam. That means Stone Cold's probably going to come to the Smoking Skull belt and that. But are we going to get 98 Undertaker again? Because yeah, we got him in the Monday Night Wars. We got that Ultimate Edition one that came out. But we haven't got a freaking True Blue. We haven't got another 98 Undertaker in a while. So we'll say there was no figures that came with the newly tooled Winged Eagle. Now, maybe the Royal Rumble set with Sid and with Sid Justice and Kevin Owens and who else is there? I think CM Punk. No, it's not CM Punk. I know it's got Kevin Owens and Sid Justice in it. I'm trying to think of which it's in there. But maybe the Kevin Owens will come with the newly tooled Winged Eagle belt. But we did not get any figures with any newly tooled Winged Eagle belts. We got a few figures, like they showed off the next Monday Night War Ultimate Goldberg with the newly tooled WCW title and the freaking US title and that. And the Booker T is going to be with the newly sculpted big gold and that. But we didn't get nothing else from the newly tooled Winged Eagle. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm wondering. Also, we did not get any news of any new Ultimate Warrior figures either. So I wonder what's going on with that as well, because the Warrior was the one that I would think they would put out that would, give us all the different colored straps of the newly tooled Winged Eagle. But I don't know. We did not see no Warrior figures on display. Also, Superstars was not there either. They didn't have no Superstar figures. They didn't have no freaking Hasbro, no retro collection figures at all either. So I don't know what's going on. But if they're moving the Coliseum collections to, I kind of think if they are going away from the retro figures, it's because they're going to, now use the Coliseum collection figures to, pay respect to the Hasbro line. So that's what I think's going on with that. That's probably why we didn't see no retros, but who knows. Maybe they'll have some somewhere down the road, but who knows. The Superstars, I think the reason why Superstars didn't show up is because they're redoing the Masters of the WWE Universe. So we're probably going to see that line be put on hold for a bit until they're done with the Masters of the WWE Universe figures again. And then they'll probably bring that line back. Who knows? It's all, it all depends. So let's talk about the LJ. Well, wait a minute. Let me talk about why the reason why I got Chucky here is because they revealed a Liv Morgan and Chucky 2-pack from that episode of Chucky where Liv Morgan showed up and Chucky's interviewing her, and then he says, "Yeah, Liv Morgan." He said something to her, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard something you said a while back." And Liv's like, "Yeah." And Chucky played the clip of her saying she wanted to be killed by Chucky. So Chucky, I was like, okay, I think it was the end of like season 1 or season 2. It was the end of one of those seasons. She comes out, he's talking to her, and he starts stabbing her, and he starts saying fuck. He keeps stabbing her and saying fuck. He's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. So that was freaking crazy. Yeah. So that's why we got the Liv Morgan Chucky 2-pack. That's going to be a pretty awesome pack to find. They also did a Kane. Another reason why I had Kane up here. They are doing Universal Monster figures, and we are getting Kane as Michael Myers. That looks cool. That's probably going to be the only one I buy out of it because I don't like how CM Punk looks as Dracula. I don't care for Cena. And I never cared for the Invisible Man movie. The only freaking Invisible Man movie I really like is freaking Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. And I know a lot of people hate that movie, but I like Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. They also revealed Jacob Fatu as the werewolf, or as the Wolfman. So, you know, that goes well with Jacob Fatu since he's called the Samoan werewolf. So, that works out pretty perfectly. Also, we're going to get WrestleMania 41 on Cena. I think it's an Ultimate Edition. It took them like almost 2 years to freaking get that figure out, so yeah, and it's probably not even going to come out this year, but it might. Now, I don't care for Cena figures. I know a lot of people do, but you know, and a lot of people want that WrestleMania 41 Cena, but the belt they had him with, you know, it wasn't the freaking current belt. It wasn't the current WWE Championship. It was a freaking old one that they had before that. So, I don't know, maybe they just do that belt on him until they can get him a new WWE Championship, but I don't know. Now, on preview night, I could have sworn there was in a case a new Ron Simmons, and you know, some people that were covering it didn't really show, but it looked like there was a new Ron Simmons in there, but didn't get to see it, and I didn't see anybody else mention it the rest of this time. And I was thinking, well, maybe that's Ron Simmons, and maybe the newly tooled belt is going to be the 91 and 94 WCW Championship. That was not the case. But, I don't know. Well, let's get to back to these Ultimate Moments, because we're also going to get Hornswoggle with the Cruiserweight belt. And, I forgot what the other guy is that comes back here. But, yeah. Oh yeah, WrestleMania 20 Undertaker is, I think the other figure that's in that Legends wave. I think the Steiner's in there. But, yeah, so Hornswoggle with the Cruiserweight title. He was the last one to hold the WWE Cruiserweight title. I think the last one to hold the WCW Cruiserweight title was like Billy Kidman. I'm not counting when they brought the belt over to WWF when WCW got bought out. But, yeah. They revealed some new basic 2-packs. They also revealed a new Zack Ryder when he won the Intercontinental title. But the Intercontinental title does not look like the title he won. It looks like the old model from the 80s instead of the white strap one with the scratcher network logo, freaking WWE logo on it. So maybe they're going to fix that when they come out. One of the biggest things they revealed, which I didn't expect them to reveal this, they revealed Dennis Rodman, Rodzilla. We're getting Dennis Rodman in a WWE title figure line. I think it's going to be a defining moment as well. That's pretty awesome. They also finally showed the final product of the Naomi from the defining moments. So yeah, just so much freaking WWE stuff. It's just hard to get to. So I'm going to go through the LJN stuff. And then I'm going to move on to the other toy lines that we're going to talk about that I got over here. I'll probably start with NECA because they're the ones that disappointed me the most. But, you know, most, especially this year, other than recent years, they really disappointed me this year. But let's get into the LJN stuff. So they revealed the next line of LJN, which is going to be the freaking, they're going to have the Iron Sheik with the big green belt, although Iron Sheik wasn't wearing pants when he won that belt. We're also getting, that Championship Showdown 2-pack with Hogan and Iron Sheik. That got Hogan with the belt. It's got Hogan with wrist tapes on his freaking hands. Like, hand tape on his hands. I don't think Hogan had hand tape on his hands when he beat Iron Sheik for the belt. But getting Iron Sheik. We're also getting the Hulk Hogan in his Japanese wrestling gear, and he's come with a big green belt. We're getting the British Bulldog in this line. We're getting Brother Love. We're getting Jey Uso. I don't really care about Jey Uso, but what's the other one? Getting the CM Punk and a couple other ones. There was an AJ Lee and CM Punk and Larry 3-pack as well that revealed. There's so much freaking wrestling news I can't cover it all. Because I don't want to take too long, because I do want to get to these other toy lines too. So yeah. I'll try to talk more about it somewhere down the road in like a wrestling video or something. Anyway, let's go to NECA. Because NECA, I think this is the worst year NECA has had at, Comic-Con. I will say, I do think the Muppet figures look good, and I think those are new, because I don't think they revealed those yet. They revealed the new Oscar the Grouch figure. DuckTale figures, they revealed a toy fair, which is pretty cool. They said they might get some other Disney ones. Can we get Darkwing Duck? Can NECA be making Darkwing Duck? I hope so. What happened to that freaking Darkwing Duck cartoon that was supposed to come out that was made by Seth Rogen? I don't know. Anyway, they revealed a new Christmas ghost face, a Christmas leather face, a Thanksgiving Art the Clown, what other Thanksgiving thing did they show off? I think it was like, I don't know. They also revealed the Part 8, Part 9 Jason and the Savini Jason, which I hear the Savini Jason's in stores now, so I don't know. But I got my Part 7, I want Part 8 and 9. I also want to see a Jason X figure, but who knows if we'll ever get that. It could be like with the Friday the 13th game where we never got the freaking Jason X in the freaking game because they screwed it up. But I don't know. They revealed, I think it's going to be Jason from the TV show. So they revealed Jason from the TV show. They revealed the Fortnite horror characters. I think the newest thing they showed off from horror, because they had like the post-correct collection of the Predator 2 figure. They had some more Badlands figures. They had Alien Earth figures. But, we don't even know if Alien Earth's coming back for a second season or not. I mean, I heard they were going to do a second season. And, we ain't heard nothing about season 2 yet this year. So maybe it's next year they're going to do a second season. I don't know. Unless they just cancel the show altogether. Who knows? I didn't think it was that bad of a show, and I'm not a big Alien fan. I thought that show was pretty good. The newest thing they revealed was the fisherman, as far as horror goes, was the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm not too excited about that. I don't care for those freaking movies. Never have, never will. I felt like they were just trying to copy Scream, and that's why I didn't like them. Plus, I'm not a big fan of some of the actors in it. I don't like Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't like frickin' Jennifer Love Hewitt. I don't like Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't frickin' like Ryan Gosling. I could care less for that guy, but I don't care for any of the actors in that movie anyways. Yeah. I mean, we do get David from frickin' Roseanne at that point. Now he's more known for the Big Bang Theory, but yeah. We did get him in that movie, but he got killed by the fisherman. I think the Sesame Street stuff looks good. I like how the Oscar the Grouch looks and all that. I like how the Muppet figures look. They did show off the frickin' Kermit the Frog, Bob Cratchit with Tiny Tim, and and they're coming home and they're singing and all that. I gotta say, I've watched a lot of the Christmas Carol movies, and I just have to say, I don't know why, but I think the frickin' saddest Tiny Tim death is in the Muppets Christmas Carol. Seriously, man. I think that's like the saddest. I guess because of the songs he was singing before that. Any other version of Tiny Tim, yeah, it was sad, but I think that was like the saddest frickin' one, was the Muppet Christmas Carol. But I've watched Scrooged. I've watched the Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol movie. I've watched, the Disney cartoon Christmas Carol movie when they were using the DuckTale characters. I've watched a lot of different iterations of Scrooge movies, and I think the Tiny Tim death in the Muppets one is like the saddest. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like that was the saddest death of Tiny Tim in the freaking Christmas Carol movie. Honestly. I don't know why, but that's the way I feel about it. Now, let's move on to Marvel Legends. Actually, let's go to G.I. Joe first. The best thing they revealed, well, two good things. They revealed the freaking Dreadnoks main vehicle they used throughout the cartoon and that. And then they revealed Sergeant Slaughter with his Triple T. That's about all that was good with the Hasbro GI Joe line. Everything else sucked. I did not care for it. Also, I gotta say, NECA did reveal that the end of their Turtles line is coming out, is done after they bring out this Tempest figure. She's gonna be the last Ninja Turtle figure that NECA makes for now. So fuck Mattel for screwing up the great figures we got from NECA, which means we're never going to see 2003 Ninja Turtles from NECA. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But, fuck Mattel for that. I'm pretty sure that's why they're not making no more Turtle figures, because of Mattel. Hey, you know what? I like Mattel, but fuck them for doing that. Because I loved the NECA Teenage Ninja Turtle figures. They were the greatest freaking Turtle figures I ever seen. Even the ones I didn't collect, I thought were great. But, especially when they were just now starting the 2012 figures too, it's like, man, they could have did so much. I would have loved to see them make one of the Crane, the Mother Crane figure from that freaking cartoon and everything. But, our Crane Prime is what it was called. But, yeah, rest in peace to the NECA Turtle line. Fuck Mattel. But, you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing we can freaking do about it. But, yeah, back to Hasbro. Like I said, the G.I. Joe stuff, I'm more excited for what's next year. Because next year is the 40th anniversary of the G.I. Joe animated movie. So, maybe we'll get some good stuff. Because the biggest thing they had was that stupid freaking Lara Croft crossover. And look, I like the Tomb Raider games just as well as anybody else. They should not be using Lara Croft for G.I. Joe Classified when you could have put so many other characters in there that people have been crying, been yelling about in the G.I. Joe Classified line. But, it is what it is. So, I don't know. I think Mondo had a good showing, but I'll talk about Mondo in a minute. Alright. Now let's get to Marvel Legends. The frickin' G.I. Joe pissed me off. Marvel Legends pissed me off even more. We did have a few things they showed off, but that was it. Like, I'm talking about that with the games. The biggest things they revealed was a freaking new freaking Scarlet Witch and a new Vision. Hey, who cares? I don't give a crap. Anyway, then they did the YouTube video, which I just watched a little bit ago, and they revealed two goofy look for the freaking Magic the Gathering freaking Marvel crossover. They revealed two goofy looking Captain America figures. Nobody cares about them. I'm tired of freaking Avengers anyway. Now the X-Men's back under Marvel's banner. I want to see Hasbro do all the freaking X-Men figures they can. I don't care about anything else at Marvel outside of Spider-Man and maybe the Incredible Hulk. But everything else with Marvel, I don't care. And with the new Avengers movie, the only reason I want to see it is because it's going to have X-Men characters in it. I don't care about Doctor Doom and all that crap. You know, I've always felt Doctor Doom was an overrated villain anyway. I don't care that Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. Who cares? I don't. I know a lot of other people might care about them. Freaking Ghostface stuff. Let's lay that down and let that means standing back up. But you know what? They did reveal some other gaming figures. I think it was like Marvel vs. Capcom figures. They revealed a Wolverine and a Psylocke Player 2 or Player 3 variants. They revealed the Sentinel thing. That's the main villain, I think, in the first game, I think. I've never beaten the game, so I don't know for sure. They revealed an Iron Man against Spiral. And like I said, they revealed a Sentinel thing. They also revealed a new symbiote suit Spider-Man. I don't like the frickin' Peter Parker head sculpt. I like the frickin' head sculpt with the mask on. The head sculpt with the mask off I don't like. I think it's kind of dumb, but it's their maximum thing, and I think their maximum thing are like high priced or whatever. But yeah, I was excited for that. And I like the fact that we're getting some X-Men characters in this Marvel vs. Capcom, you know, toy line. No freaking X-Men Legend toys. None from the first game, none from the second game. So, at least I didn't nail the Victoria and the freaking Jacqueline from Wednesday. I said, yeah, we're going to get a reveal of Jacqueline and Victoria from Mattel finally. We did. Yeah, by the way, no newly tooled figure belts either, so I guess we're not going to do that this year. But they gave a lot of great stuff as far as figures go from Mattel and WWE. But yeah, and then that was pretty much it. Then they left the tease, and that was it. So, I don't know. I'm like, oh, God. Why? And then, yeah, like I said, with the Hasbro GI Joe stuff, wasn't very excited about that stuff either. I don't care about that crap. But, you know, at least we are getting some kind of X-Men figures in their game, in the Marvel vs. Capcom game, so that's cool. Wolverine's one of my favorites. Psylocke is my favorite female X-Men. I think I said Emma Frost last time. Emma Frost, because, you know, Emma Frost got the cleavage, and Psylocke's got the thumb. Break out with a Cisco song. I keep thinking about Psylocke. Alright, speaking of disappointing, let's talk about McFarlane toys. No new Mortal Kombat reveals? Seriously? No new Mortal Kombat reveals. He did reveal some stuff. He revealed a absolute Batman figure. He revealed Catwoman with the damage from Batman Returns, which is cool. We're also getting Robert Pattinson Batman from The Batman. Heck, we're gonna get more. We're gonna have The Batman figures out before the next freaking The Batman movie comes out. And then what was the other one that they had? They also revealed a freaking old school Catwoman. Oh no, it was a Hush Catwoman. Hush Catwoman. Some more page puncher stuff and all that stuff. The thing that I was most excited about, and I was excited about it when they announced it a few days ago before Comic-Con, was the frickin' Spartan Wildcats. Can we get some more Wildcat figures? But golly, that Spartan's gonna be like 50 to 60 bucks. That's gonna suck. And I really want that figure too. It'd be like 50 to 60 bucks though. I was gonna get the Grifter, but I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get Grifter if they're not gonna make the rest of the freaking Wildcats. Why should I get Grifter if they're not gonna make the rest of them? And then we got Spartan a couple years later. So maybe we'll get that. Who knows? But you know, no other news for movie stuff. Like no new. They did show off some new Green Lantern figures and all that stuff. But that was all revealed at his panel. And they, I think he revealed, I think that was it. No friggin' other Batman and Robin stuff. I think so I put up that they did show off the new edition of the Mr. Freeze and the Poison Ivy. They're pretty much the same as the standard figures, so I don't know why there's a big deal about them if they're just the same figure. And it doesn't look like the paint was different or anything like that on Mr. Freeze or Poison Ivy. I was hoping to get them, they would announce Bane so that Batman and Robin movie figures could be finished. But they didn't do that. Also, weren't we supposed to get Michael Keaton where he takes off his mask at the end of Batman Returns to try to convince Catwoman not to kill Max Shreck if Max Shreck deserved to die? Oh yeah, something else NECA did reveal. They revealed some DC superhero figures in their 8-inch line, but you know how I feel about their 8-inch line. Oh, they did look cool, but you know, after I seen the reviews of the Batman Returns figures and the Batman 89 figure, I don't know. Oh yeah, he also showed off the Batman 89 comic, Batman and the Batman 89 comic Two-Face. We did get that. I figured they'd probably show that off. You know, so. But outside of that, nothing else. No other new movie stuff. Just, you know, a few re-releases and all that, and that was pretty much it. And like I said, no freaking Mortal Kombat figure reveals. So I was upset about that. Like, man, he's not even going to try with that one. I already could tell. He's not even going to try with that one. I could be wrong, but he... oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Biggest thing Hasbro announced. They said the license is still pending. Is they're doing Legend of Zelda figures. Well, that's cool. Will they do other game figures like Mario and that? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I did not see any news on the AEW figures. So yeah. Mondo, I think Mondo had a pretty good booth this year. They had all kinds of good stuff. I don't collect Mondo stuff, but boy, their stuff looked really good. So I hope, and that stuff looked really good. Super 7 just revealed the freaking Lion-O and Mumra, the light up ones, and that was pretty much it. They didn't reveal nothing new, like no new Super 7 2000 Turtles or anything like that, so I don't know. Hopefully Mattel's putting a stop to freaking Super 7 making Ninja Turtle figures, because I did not like any of the Super 7 Ninja Turtle figures at all. Especially the 2003 ones. They freaking sucked. But, yeah. What else? Jada had a pretty good showing. They showed off the freaking Player 2 pack, and they had some of the Street Fighter figures with the heads from the when you get beat, and they're like, you got the countdown, and you got to push start real fast to freaking continue. Those look pretty good. Hasbro revealed some Street Fighter movie figures. They only did Akuma and that. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the Street Fighter WWE figure. So we're getting Brock Lesnar as Zangief. We're getting Kofi Kingston as DJ. We're getting Xavier Woods as Akuma. Like, Xavier Woods as Akuma? I don't know about that. The Tonk is going to be freaking T-Hawk. That makes a lot of sense. But, yeah, I don't know. But, like I said, there was so much WWE stuff. It was just crazy. If I talked about all that, I wouldn't have had time to get to these storylines. But, I don't know. I love the... They're also going to come out with an Ultimate Edition, Mr. Perfect. I think I might buy that for myself. Because, you know, my son's already got a couple of Mr. Perfect. So I might buy the Mr. Perfect Ultimate Edition for myself. We're also getting the British Bulldog as well. We've had this figure before in Elite form, and now we're getting an Ultimate Edition form, so... Yeah, let's see, what else is there to talk about? Now, there's this one toy company called Jazz Inc. They were showing off some Batman movie figures. The Batman movie figures look pretty good. Yeah, they look better than the McFarlane ones, but I don't know if I'll be able to afford those ones, because they're going to be pretty pricey, probably. So, I don't know. But they have, yeah, a lot of stuff revealed. And like I said, if I would have talked about WWE figures, I would have took the whole freaking video. There were so many freaking WWE figures in this freaking video, in the freaking reveal edition. I mean, this is like probably the biggest, best figure year that, you know, Mattel has done at Comic-Con. And, you know, I enjoyed the last 2 years because we got a newly tooled Big Gold, which I've been hollering for years and years and years. And then we got the newly tooled Winged Eagle last year, which came out this year. Which, you know, I'm wondering about that though. No Lack of Warriors, you know, no other figures. I hope they're not going to go back to that old mold. I seriously hope not. Because that would just be stupid. You make this new design. This new design looks perfect. You don't need to go back to that old mold. Like I said, you can use that mold to make the friggin' redo the friggin' 91 to 94 WCW Championship. But, you know, I think the friggin' Winged Eagle, the new mold we got, is way better than the old mold. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, Batista was in one of those new Saturday Night main event lines. So Batista was one of them. It's pretty much the same one that's going to be in the 3-pack with Hogan and Cena. So, but very excited for all the stuff they revealed. They had a ton of stuff. It would have took me forever to talk about all of it in the freaking video. And I wouldn't have been able to get the other toy lines. But yeah, NECA sucked. Hasbro pissed me off with GI Joe stuff. And pissed me off with the freaking Marvel stuff. The new Power Ranger figures though did look good though. The new Power Ranger figures from Playmates, and I didn't think Playmates could make good toys ever. Because I never cared too much for the Turtles figures that they made. But I'll say this, they did 2003 Turtles better than freaking Super 7 did. But no news about AEW's new toy line. Maybe somebody will figure it out. Let's see. Also, yeah, 4 Horsemen revealed some new Mythic Leisure figures called the Skeleton Warriors. Those are pretty cool. I think it was a toy line that was out a while back, and then they got rid of it, and then I guess the 4 Horsemen brought it back. So, yeah. But anyway, that'll do it. Next week, back to frickin' playthroughs. I'm going to be doing some GTA playthroughs. I'm going to be doing the Return of the Gassed Up Killer, GTA 1, do a playthrough of GTA 4, talk about some, you know, have some theories and stuff for other GTA games like San Andreas and all that. This time we'll probably the Xbox versions of San Andreas and 3 and all that stuff. Regular Xbox. I have a bunch of stuff leading into GTA 6. Then we get the horror run. Also, Shark Week starts this Sunday, so next week's going to be Shark Week videos. Probably have one Wednesday. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably still review Judgment Night. I'll watch Judgment Night freaking Sunday night. Review it Monday. And then I'll probably freaking talk about Shark Week up to that point. By that point, they'll be halfway through the freaking Shark Week. Next Wednesday. Yeah, like I said, next Friday, playthrough of GTA 1, Return of the Gassed Up Killer! Yeah. It's just gonna be a silly, goofy freaking run around, shoot people, make the guy fart and burp and all that stuff. But it's funny. And, you know, last year when I did it, I think, was it 2 years ago? When I did it the first time, I did like a pre-recorded video. This time it's going to be a straight up live stream. So, Gassed Up Killer coming back. Then I'll be getting into horror games and all that stuff as we get into the Halloween run. Oh, this is when Halloween run starts. First couple weeks I'll be doing some other stuff. Maybe the first week I'll do some other stuff, then week 2 I get into all the horror stuff. All the way till Halloween. Also be starting to build to Halloween Figure Havoc in September, so which will be my last one I'll do of the year. Next year I got plans for some other ones I'll do at the end of the year when I'm finished for the year. So yeah, I'll talk about all that when we get to the end of the year, which will be right before Halloween. Or right beyond Halloween this year. I don't know. What day is Halloween on this year? It's on a Friday, then yeah, Halloween will be the last video I do for the year. But if not, it'll be the Friday before Halloween. Let me know what you guys thought of all the freaking news, toy news from freaking McFarlane, Mattel, NECA, maybe some toy places I didn't even talk about if you want to talk about their stuff. Again, leave it in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys Monday for the Judgment Night review. That movie is really good. I'm doing it because of the Joe blow. Let me read some of the comments before I go. Let's see. Do I have what? Hello, hi. That bird's probably gone by now. This one you can't view. My Tide, I don't know what My Tide is. What about Penta? Oh yeah, Penta, yeah, that was a really good figure reveal as well. I thought the Ultimate Edition looked really good. It was a really awesome figure. So yeah. Like I said, there was so much stuff. I couldn't get to everything because then I wouldn't have been able to talk about all the other toy lines. But yeah, that Penta was pretty cool. I like that figure. I don't know how much it's going to be, but shoot. Do I have preference on articulate? It depends. If it's, you know, like one of my favorite figures I have is a freaking Scott Steiner, and that articulation on that is terrible. I do think figures with better articulation is good, but I don't know, that Scott Steiner is terrible, but I still like the figure. Hi. BRB Go. Wheelers. Or Rustlers. Hi. Yeah, there's all the comments. Yeah, but yeah, the Penta looked pretty cool. I just couldn't get to it because, God, there's so much. Hey, you know, usually a WWE Comic-Con figure reveal is usually a lot of news at Comic-Con, but it was way more this year than it had been in previous years. Like I said, the two biggest things I thought they did the last couple years was the newly tooled big gold belt, and then the newly tooled Winged Eagle belt, and revealing the LJNs last year, which I really enjoyed the LJNs. But yeah, that Penta looks awesome. You know what? Gonna have to get a Penta, especially after coming out with Classic La Parka, because I've always wanted to do a dream match. I don't know why I chose these two either, but a dream match between Penta and La Parka is something I've thought about wanting to do for a bit. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the style of their freaking outfits or what, but that could be why. But yeah, Penta and freaking, yeah, I'd like to do that kind of match. Everybody talks about dream match between Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix. I want to see Penta against freaking the original La Parka, not the freaking current one. The original La Parka. So, yeah. Yeah. I'll try to cover some of the other figure stuff that was revealed here in a wrestling video sometime, maybe next month or before I can take my break from YouTube for the rest of the year. So, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I loved I thought all the reveals were really good. Upset there was no other figures with newly tooled Winged Eagles, and I was upset we didn't get no retooled belt this year, so yeah. But we did get a lot of awesome figures, so yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Just wanted to read the comments real fast. Hi to everybody that said hi, and yeah, it depends on what I think about the figure. If I don't like the figure, then I might have a big issue with the articulation. But if I like the figure, the articulation won't bug me as much, because, like, yeah. But yeah, I know articulation is important for these figures, but yeah. But anyway, I'll see you guys later, and peace out.